more panyangan wanji boja. Kaya ngan more panyangan dapakan more panyangan boja. Ngan wanji ngan port jeruk kaya ngan port jeruk. It says that a long time ago the Creator asked the dark people to share the land. He asked the dark fellows to look after the land. And for our old people, we knew that the land became a part of us. It became a part of our spirit, and it became a part of our heart. You see, our grandmother and our grandfather, they kept our language. The old people, they kept our tongue, and they kept our stories. And they asked us as young fellows to walk steady upon the land as we share this.
A little bit of background. Shelter WA is really keen to establish an effective housing system in Western Australia that supports the needs of every Western Australian. And our concern around Aboriginal housing is very strong. We know that housing is a key determinant of health. Access to housing fundamentally impacts on people's health and well-being.
We will continue in health to have housing as one of the priorities that we have to address if we are going to address the health status of our children and not see the episodes and increasing numbers of children living with rheumatic heart disease, living with failing kidneys and living with the range of infectious diseases. Because if we're going to change the life longevity of people, we also have to change the physical environment. I have been into a number of people's homes, our people's homes, and came out quite disturbed that the conditions in which they were living will never see an improvement in their health to the extent that we expect. If we cannot improve housing, the gap in health across the top tier of every possible infection will not alter. We cannot close the gap without addressing a key element, the impact of housing policy on health and well-being of our people right across Australia.
We know from a health perspective that the social determinants of health contribute to 30% of the burden of chronic disease. So having access to a safe and healthy house is absolutely critical to ensure that our community are getting their health needs met. So it's critical we get it right because the health of our community depends on it not just now but into the future.
You know, I look at these houses, at some of the things that we manage, and they're not of quality. We have to make some harsh decisions about housing our people because I don't want to house my people in substandard housing. I walk in this city as a traditional owner, but yet my people are not economic powerhouses that we should be. And if we can get our people to a position where they can have a house, they can buy a house and start to develop an economic base and financial security for their family, things will change. I've had preliminary discussions with the Minister for Housing. I said, I don't want new money. I want you to realign your existing resources to cater for my people. We've met with him. I said, I don't want money. So what we have to do is get our act together as a community and say, listen, no more. We are not victims. We are not disadvantaged. We are powerful. This is our country and we are traditional owners and we need to empower our people and we need to become an economic power.
And you think about the impact of the policies, the Aboriginal Affairs policies, that have effectively controlled us from the cradle to the grave. It is no surprise that in 2018 we are having this forum today to talk about something as basic as having a home. The whole model is predicated on someone outside of our community, our families, making decisions on behalf of us, implementing those decisions by way of programs or services or practice, and then expecting to hold us to account for the failure of those policies and those procedures. And when the conversation of elders go around, well, what is government going here? What's government doing here? What's government doing here? And one of our elders says, hang on, we're part of this story. This is our kids, this is our community. That changes the whole conversation piece.
Talking about safe children is not a throwaway thing, and it shouldn't be. It's actually got to be ingrained in everything we think about doing. Because we have too many kids, and it's not just Aboriginal kids, it's white kids as well, that are at risk every day. So the Australian dream has always been about owning your own home and owning everything else that goes with it, providing safe family. And all that does is lend everything else towards better education outcomes, better health outcomes, not being in the justice system. So all those things we think about, the opportunities around having a safe household is the most important thing.
We know that housing for our people is not one size fits all across this nation. It doesn't matter where I've been, housing remains a constant issue. Forums like this one are important to gather information that will help find solutions to housing problems and influence the decision making.
You know, a long way across the water, the white fellas come to our land. They come to this place and they bring their children and families and they make a home. They make a home upon our place. You see, their children and our children, it's been the white fella's children and our children. We share this place together. And when we walk upon the land, we walk steady and we listen not only with our ears, but we listen with our hearts. We walk steady upon the land. I feel honoured that you showed respect to our people of yesterday. Our journey for today and our journey for tomorrow.